no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. Hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. I'ma rep my city and salute my town. Said ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. I'ma hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. And I'm ready for whatever, and I still stand proud. Ain't no way. Who you think you kidding, dude? Never thought that I would do.
What up, though? It is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313, and we are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As always, this episode is brought to you by WSN, the Wrestling Society Network. If you have Apple TV, the Roku app, Amazon Fire Stick, download the app. Check out all the cool wrestling content they got on there. They got wrestling documentaries, wrestling shows from wrestling promotions. They created a promotion off the video game. They've done a lot of cool stuff on there, so check that out. Make sure you check them out on Patreon too. You can join for free, but to get all the cool exclusive stuff, you can check out the membership options. And also go to the website, wrestlingsociety.com. Sign up for a free account there and check out all the cool wrestling content they have on there. Also go to the podcast room where you can check out all the other wrestling podcasters, see what they're talking about. You can also check out Wrestling from the 313 in the podcast room as well. And my guest today is a wrestler on the independent scene, RJ Carnage. Welcome to Wrestling from the 313. What up, though?
I appreciate it because everybody from the 3-Way put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. You know what I'm saying? Man, I've been wanting to come to the 313 for a long time. I've heard there's a lot of great promotions out there, man. So hopefully they can get my name out there and we can get some links up, man. I appreciate you having me on the show. Let's get right to it, man. I heard you got a lot of questions in store.
Oh yeah, we got to hit get into the mind of RJ Carnage and see what it's been like for you as an independent wrestler. So for fans who may be hearing your name for the first time, who is RJ Carnage and what made you fall in love with professional wrestling?
Well, RJ Carnage is just a normal human being as everybody else. In my wrestling career, I never really played out to be a character. I've always wanted to be myself and show everybody that, you don't have to play as somebody. Not saying it's a problem. Everybody has their different way to get through their wrestling career, has their own different path. But with me, I feel like if I just show my true colors myself and go out there and be able to put on a show in front of fans that I never met and it's just being myself, bro. And that's what I enjoy a lot about this and how I became a wrestler, man. It just grew upon me. My family's been involved with it for a while now. Growing up, I watched my uncles, my dad, his buddies wrestle in the backyard. Everybody starts somewhere, and it just grew upon me. I went to Delaware, I went to Maryland, I went to Tower City, Pennsylvania. I've went to Washington D.C., I went to Baltimore, and everything just gradually grew from there. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, it just grew upon me. It's just something that I wanted to do for most of my life. I was 4 years old sitting there watching ECW, RVD versus John Cena and everything from there. You know what I'm saying? It just grew upon me, bro. Feeling that electric, feeling that, those people that don't even know you and they're cheering for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just that adrenaline rush. I love it, bro. I can't get away from it. So definitely, that's mainly one of the reasons why. But there's so many. I can go on for hours about that question. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to sit here and hold that upon you. So, that's one of the main reasons, bro.
It's all good. But real quick, just growing up, I know we talked before we went live. I know you said AJ Styles was in your top three. Who else were some of your favorites growing up?
Well, John Cena. Everybody has John Cena on their list. John Cena is one of those goats. We got AJ Styles. I loved Amazing Red. Christopher Daniels. Super Crazy. Those guys. Rey Mysterio. A lot of those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's really it, bro. I don't really have. I'm a high flyer, bro. I've always watched the high flyers. I love the going high risk. whoever was a high flyer, man, I was attached, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
definitely the main three are John Cena, AJ Styles, and Amazing Red.
that's what's up. Yeah, I can tell just by your favorites. We definitely there's definitely a age difference. I grew up in the '80s,
Oh
back in the day with Hogan and Savage and Andre the
yeah,
Giant,
okay.
and just seeing wrestling evolve. After Hogan left WWF, they were like migrating more to the Ultimate Warrior, the Undertaker, Bret Hart. Bret Hart was, for me, I think was the best champion around that time. And I think Vince McMahon said this. He said that Bret Hart is probably the best WWE champion of all time. And if you ever like watch old film or old documentaries of Bret Hart, he took those championship belts serious, especially when he went solo as the Intercontinental Champion and WWE Champion. Yeah, he took that being a champion serious. And I know that, a lot of wrestlers have characters or whatever and stuff, but I don't know, just the way that he carried himself and the way that he brought prestige to that championship, it was just like to me, he took it to another level. And, after Bret Hart, we saw the Austin era, the Rock era, the Triple H era, of course, the Monday Night Wars. That was, in my opinion, I grew up in the '80s, but I think the Monday Night Wars was probably the best era in wrestling.
We got Uncle Mike here, man. Uncle Mike back in the '80s, brother.
Yeah, they had to take it back almost the territory days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was about to
But
say almost territory days.
yeah, but you know what? Those were good times, man. And if we didn't have those wrestling in the '80s, wrestling wouldn't be what it is right now. I could definitely say.
That's something I can agree with, man. I mean, obviously, back then they didn't have the internet like we do. I think right now a lot of the wrestling revolves around the social media, and not saying it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, we all know back then when we look at 2000. All right, I'm gonna go a little older, a little younger. 2007, 2008, where the Nosta like you can go back and watch that. It's like, oh wow, like those are the days wrestling was. Oh, what we can put it on demand, record that shit, watch it the next day type shit. Like now you can just go, you open up your Instagram app and you already have 13 clips going down your newsfeed of what happened on Monday Night Raw, which I don't have a problem with. But I like those days where you can have that moment with your family or
Yeah,
your friends where you have, oh yo, let's watch SummerSlam, let's watch Monday Night Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we have that moment with your family. But like I feel like now it's all around social media, and like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the world's come to, and I feel like if we look back 10 years from now, you can notice the difference between WWE then and WWE now, and I would rather go back. Have that not the old fashioned look. You know what I'm saying? Not have to worry about going on social media to look what happened at Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown.
yeah. And that's when millions of people was watching wrestling during the Monday Night Wars. Like I remember having a remote flipping back and forth. Like I would, cause Raw would come on at like 9, and Nitro would do like an extra 2. They would be on for like 4-5 hours. Like they like,
Hmm.
okay, we getting that whole time until Raw come on. So they was come on sometimes at 7 o'clock. So you just got a whole 2 hours of WCW. And if it's
Hmm.
good, you gonna keep it on. But then
Hmm.
when WWE started getting that momentum with the Austin McMahon rivalry, it's like, okay, I want to see what NWO was about to do, but let me switch here to Austin real quick. And when Austin came on, that dude raised hell. I
Oh hell
think,
yeah.
I think for me, I say that Stone Cold Steve Austin is the GOAT, just because, and he didn't have as many championships as like John Cena, Ric Flair, guys like that. But he literally saved the WWF from going out of business. A lot of people don't know that. If they never did that rivalry, or if they never would have changed to the Attitude Era, it probably wouldn't be no WWF right now. We probably wouldn't even have WrestleMania. Wrestling probably wouldn't be as big as it is right now. So that's why I always say he's the GOAT. And I think a lot of people can relate to Stone Cold Steve Austin because everybody had that boss that they just wanted to stun. You know what I'm saying? And it was just that no nonsense attitude.
He was a great performer, and I think he still is. I think he can come back and work 3 matches, even with his bad knees.
Yeah.
I truly believe that he can come back, and I truly believe that we'll see him at WrestleMania.
I hope so, man. I hope they, do a little something. He come out and, toast somebody, give him a stunner, do the whole thing in the ring where he drink the beers and stuff like that. I like when they come back every couple years and kind of surprise everybody. And I think that's the type of stuff we're gonna see from John Cena,
Yes,
going on
I
during
think
the years.
I think that's the reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame this year either.
Yeah, yeah. I could
And
see I could probably see if not next year, because next year it'd be in Saudi Arabia. I
yeah,
could see 2028.
yeah. And another thing is too, like you got to realize they got like a lot of the current superstars right now are on IR, dude. Like
Yeah.
Bronson Reed's hurt, Braun Breaker's hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's another guy that's hurt. There's a
Seth
couple
Rollins.
other. Seth Rollins is hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of crucial guys that are on the roster right now that are hurt. So we could possibly see other things happen, like Stone Cold can return. We obviously do the thing that I thought was really cool. I know we're gonna talk about this later. Seeing Abyss on WWE the first time ever,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
awesome. That was awesome, dude. When
Yeah.
Frankie opened that door, I did not expect Abyss to come out that door.
No,
That was
no.
awesome, dude. I was sitting in my chair hyped as hell, dude, because we never thought we would get that moment. We got Abyss on WWE before GTA 6, man.
Right, right. Hey, but you know what? They got him on the video game, so hey, they was
That's
probably just like, why not?
right. And if I'm pretty sure Abyss, he's been doing a lot of backstage work with
Backstage.
WWE.
Yep.
If I'm correct, yes, yeah. So that's awesome to see him, being able to bring that a character Abyss out into WWE for the first time ever. It was awesome. I loved it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So when did you realize wrestling was more than just a hobby and something you wanted to seriously pursue?
March 12th, 2003. No, 2023, sorry, 2003. March is when I really started taking it serious.
Okay.
Um, I have been, wrestling in the backyard, wrestling for little independent companies here and there before I stepped foot in Battlefield Pro Wrestling under the Samoans, the Wild Samoans. Um, First, when I stepped foot in the battlefield, I felt like, how am I gonna, put my foot in here and, fit into the group, make myself well known. And honestly, dude, it didn't take much. I had my first match within a month of training. From there, it just took off, dude. I got my first ring gear, paid over $1,200 for it.
Woo.
It's That's when I knew, like, yo, wow, we're gonna have to really, really, really put our foot down here and take this serious and being with the Wild Samoans helped me really realize a lot of things, open my eyes a lot. They're tough. They're a tough group. They're a tough family, and anybody that is ever willing to come to the Wild Samoans, just be prepared, because it's not easy. It's, from someone that's been here for almost 3 years under the Wild Samoans, it's not easy, man. And that's what people need, is not easy, because nothing is easy, nothing is handed to you, and especially in this business. So yeah, definitely around March 12th area 2023 is when I really put my foot down and started really taking this serious.
That's what's up. So, real quick, when you took that first bump when you started training, how did it feel?
It was just a regular bump to me. Like I said, I've been doing the backyard stuff, doing crazier stuff than I started doing here in Battlefield, you know what I'm saying, or in the independent scene. I was already taking bumps off of ladders, taking bumps through tables, taking bumps through light tubes, barbed wire. I was already doing all that, but I wasn't trained properly.
Yeah.
And as soon as I was able to get those little, like I told John, like I gave me that little bump in the ass, I was on everything. You know what I'm saying? I was taking bumps the right way. I was, running the ropes the right way. I was communicating the right way. You know what I'm saying? And my footing, my patience, my timing, everything has just came to me as I've been at the Wild Samoan School. So definitely, definitely the first bump. Definitely, I can't tell you if I remember the first bump in the ring, but I can tell you it wasn't pretty because it was more than just one bump, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I know when they do like the documentaries and when they would do like Tough Enough and stuff, and they would show them in the training, like it would be like consecutive bumps at a time. Like they would have to get up, like kind of like stump and then drop again, and
Hmm.
then they do the back and forth thing on the ropes and stuff like that. So and they would be on their ass too. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember those earlier shows when Al Snow and Taz were the trainers, and they were some pretty good shows. And then I think after a while that you could start to tell that it was starting to be more TV than it was like just a regular documentary. But it
As
was
we're on that topic, I'm sorry to cut you. As we're on that topic, that reminds me of the LFG stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That seems more of a reality show than it training to be a professional wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I get that vibe from it. So definitely, I get what you're saying there.
yeah. But I also think it's a cool. I think it. I know a lot of wrestlers kind of get upset with that because they feel like it's exposing the business. But I also think it's cool because it's a way to, how can I put it? The people that think that wrestling is fake and the moves are easy to do, it's a good way to show them that, hey, this is not easy. Like, you gotta train to do this stuff. If you don't do this right, you can get injured. You still gonna have that casual fan base that just think that, oh, wrestling isn't hard. And you one of the guys that do wrestle, and firsthand that, hey, the wrong move or you is executed the wrong way, you can hurt somebody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even with in my criteria of wrestling, high flying, everything. Like I've already had an accident. Now I know that anything can happen. Like I never thought this would happen to me, knowing that anything can happen. We put our bodies on the line every time we step into the ring. Things happen, accidents happen, but you got to know the positioning for it, to know when to not do something, to know when, you know what I'm saying, just to know when to do the right thing,
Yeah,
and especially to keep your opponent safe. That's the main priority when you're in the ring. Yeah, there might be heel in a face, but at the end of the day, that is your opponent, that is your friend, that is the someone that you're supposed to keep safe. And that will get you more recognition than doing any other move there is in the book. Keeping your opponent safe is the main priority, and I will always live by that.
definitely, definitely. And real quick, just going back on the injuries and stuff. Like, I know we were talking about the wrestlers in WWE that's injured. I forgot to bring up Bianca Belair. She got she broke her knuckle. You know what I'm saying? And something that we all thinking is something as simple as a finger. She like, no, her finger. She broke her knuckle, like her finger shattered, and she, excuse me, now just getting surgery on her, getting surgery on her finger, and she been showing the rehab and stuff. It's just like little injuries like that can keep you out for a long time.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
real quick, just to let everybody know, what was your injury?
I actually did. It was a foot injury. I did a springboard moonsault to the outside, and I ended up landing on my foot the wrong way. You're supposed to land like this, obviously. I landed like this. My foot landed like this.
Oh,
So when I landed, my foot went like this, and it broke. Then a navicular bone on. If you look down your right side of your foot, on your right foot, you'll see on the left side there's a bone between your ankle and your foot. It's right in the crease, and that snapped. So now I have six screws and a plate. Which I wish I was able to show you some X-rays I have, but it's obviously I can't do that right now. But Honestly, if you go on my page, I'm gonna be posting soon. I haven't posted in 3 months, but I'm gonna be posting soon about how the rehab's going, how everything's going. So if you guys want to just check that out, go right ahead. I don't know when I can shout myself out, but I'll do that for you guys, so you
All
can
right.
guys can get the more understanding on how this injury can affect a person. Trust me.
Hey, look, anytime I'm rubbing my ankle right now. Anytime I hear with an injury to the foot or the knee, it's just like, man, like how long you gonna be out?
So as of I showed you, I just started walking today.
Yeah,
Today is the first time I
congratulations.
walked since November 30th is the last time I walked.
Wow.
But I personally won't be cleared for another 4 months. Um, probably won't be back in the ring until July. Um, but that's just how I want to put that as. I want to make that stretch, I want to give myself time because I lost track, man. I fell off a track. I kind of fell off of my diet a little bit. I'm being honest here. I fell off of sleep. I haven't been getting much sleep the right way. I obviously couldn't go to the gym, so I've been lifting here and there at home, and I had the energy to. But now that I'm getting back on my feet, now I'm gonna get back to my schedule, my routine, and from experience, nobody should ever, you know, stop what they're doing. If you're doing something right with your diet, with your exercise, with everything, try to maintain it as much as possible if you have an interference like an injury. Because from experience, I fully regret falling off a track. Fully regret of not staying consistent of what I was doing. But at the end of the day, we all have our reasons to stop doing some certain things. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna get back on track, and I highly request you guys, whoever is going through the same thing as I am, just stay on track, man. Stay consistent, stay positive, and you will get to where you want to be.
Definitely, definitely. Those are true words of wisdom, Yeah, for real. So your style is intense and physical. What influenced that approach, and was that always your vision for RJ Carnage?
That was mainly always the vision to, have that aggressive but still be a big baby face, have the people like me in some sort of way. I don't know. I can't tell you how people love me so much. I can't tell you. I don't have the reason. I'm just me, man. And I've always been told. I was told by Marty Jannetty, being yourself is always a great look than trying to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
And that hit me. That hit me a lot because at the end of the day, I know there's a lot. I know wrestling revolves around gimmicks, characters, but people can make it without a gimmick and a character.
I
If
agree.
people can feel the energy off of you. Examples, if you go watch some of my videos, you can tell that I don't have a character, I don't have a gimmick, I don't have what other people have that's helping them with their path. I want to just be original. I just want to be just homemade. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to rely on something. I just want to pop through the curtain. Oh, that's RJ. We got to cheer for him because you want to know why? Because he's relentless. He's nonstop. Like I have no, I don't know, man. It's just I want to be original.
Yeah,
I just want to be original. I don't want to rely on something that that could just fall off at some point. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want people to look at me and be like, "Oh, I like that dude," just because he's him. He's
yeah.
him. You know what
And
I'm saying?
yeah. And sometimes that's all it takes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, wrestling is based around characters and stuff, but sometimes, if you just go out there and be yourself, have that charisma where you can talk to the crowd and you just give off that energy, that's better than just having a character. Hey, I'm a rich wrestler from Greenwich, Connecticut, or something like that. And the way wrestling is now is what the characters are now. A lot of the characters are reality based. So you know
Look
what I'm
at look
saying?
at look at Javon Evans.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a good.
main example. That's a
That's a
great example, and that's how I want to be.
yeah.
I want to go out there and be able to just be me, talk like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But another answer off of your question, I always wanted to be aggressive, and I've used to watch wrestling, and And I've watched these wrestlers and they don't show aggression. They don't show they're actually wrestling. It just looks like a dance off to me sometimes. Especially with these new era wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
not hating on them. Not hating on them. Just pointing out what I have an opinion on, and I feel like they don't. Their strikes are not. They don't look aggressive. They don't look aggressive in the ring. They don't look like they actually want to hurt the other person and still be safe. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's where I come into play. I always make it look like I'm actually fighting, bro. I will never. You'll never see something half-assed from me, especially when it comes to showing the ability of aggression and charisma. I will always be on top of my game with that. And that's my answer to your question is just like I always just want to make a different opinion on wrestling because I know there's a lot of opinions on the wrestling that wrestling's fake. Look at this match. They're not really hitting. They're not doing
Mhm.
this. You know what I'm saying? Just that type of baseline of just trying to make that known. Like when you watch me, you're gonna see aggression. You're gonna see an actual fight. You're gonna see an actual wrestling match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I mean, and one thing I know with wrestling, like with the training and stuff, they do teach you guys how to execute punches without actually hitting somebody. But
Hmm.
I can't lie, some of them punches, like when Kane used to like punch people, it looked like he used to punch people for real. And even when The Rock would do his wind up little punches or whatever, like some of them punches that look like they like when you would hear them watching the match, that sound like they hit for real. So
Big
they,
Show is the one I've always the right hand the that
yeah,
knockout punch, bro. That
yeah,
was brutal. That looked amazing, and I'm glad that I was able to witness that because that was probably one of the biggest that's one of the biggest moves that I've focused on too because
yeah.
he made it look so crucial, but he barely touched him. He barely touched him.
Yeah, yeah. And I would even go back, and I think that this definitely was real. When Floyd Mayweather and Big Show had that face off, man, and Floyd gave him that 4 piece and broke his nose, man. Big Show
That
was,
was real.
hey, he was pissed, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like I said, I know they teach you all how to execute without actually hitting, but some of those punches actually do be landed. Like
Hmm.
I can't lie about that. And
Oh,
it's just,
absolutely.
and it's just like I said, like I think that's what was the good thing for like shows like Tough Enough because it showed that this isn't fake. This isn't something that anybody can do. Like you got to be in good shape and you got to learn. You got to take it serious because you could hurt somebody.
Absolutely. Just
So
another job.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So independent wrestling can be a grind. What have been some of the toughest challenges you faced on the indie so far?
I'll give you one of the main one. Showing you're showing your capability to keep up with the other stars. Um, there's wrestlers that I wrestled that were on the WWE. I wrestled Lance on Hawaii. I wrestled Sean Maluda. I wrestled I wrestled Jordan Oliver. I wrestled Junie Underwood. I wrestled so many guys that are on the independent scene or was a WWE superstar now, and just trying to keep up with them, showing that you are able to match their energy in the ring. And luckily, I was partially be able to do that in certain aspects because I was still green when I wrestled these guys. Some of these guys, when I was only a few months in when I wrestled Sean Maluda.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So like, I was able to learn from him, and I learned a lot from him, and just those were the toughest challenges so far. So for I don't know what holds in the future for me yet. I know I have a bunch of bookings on the waiting list as of right now.
yeah,
Um, but if it had to be something, it had to be that, trying to, equally lines with great superstars like Sean Maluda and Lance on Hawaii. Just being able to, live up my dream and being able to say that I was able to stand toe to toe with these guys and being able to finish that match. You know what I'm saying? So like that was probably one of the toughest challenges yet. And just all around, being with the Samoans is the toughest challenge you can have in this wrestling business. Because if you guys know wrestling, you know the Samoans are not the ones to play with. Are
Right.
not the ones to play with.
Yeah, I was just about to, just mention that. Like, yeah, you wrestled a member of the bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
Two,
And
not just one, two.
yeah, two. Yeah, that just I know you had mentioned the Noai family. Just what is like, how does that feel to be in the ring going up against a member of that family tree?
It's I'm grateful. I like I said, I learned a lot from those guys, and I still do. Obviously we still see those guys like Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu came from Battlefield. He came from where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So seeing him come from the Battlefield and be where he is right now,
Yeah,
basically in the WWE, the World Heavyweight Champion scene right now,
yeah,
he's all gas, no brakes. Yeah, I know what I mean. Yeah, he's crazy right now, and it's a whole different side I've never seen of Jacob Fatu,
yeah,
and you know, it just shows to you if you get that boost, get that help, get that door open, and giving the person like example, Jacob Fatu a chance. He accelerated so fast in the WWE. It's amazing. He's doing great, and to be able to say he came from Battlefield Pro Wrestling is amazing because that shows that they're watching.
yeah,
They're watching. They're no matter who you are, they are watching. They are watching every single independent scene, everything. They're watching. That's all I guess. They are watching.
oh yeah, definitely. And real quick, what state you in again?
I'm in
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania. Yep,
Okay.
Northeastern.
Yeah, and that's a wrestling state too. And
Absolutely.
and I know that WWE and AEW got connects in that state. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the top indie promotions and checking out the wrestlers. So
A lot of the guys that I am friends with, they have worked AEW shows, they have worked ROH shows, they have worked TNA shows. Like I'm really good friends with Casey Navarro. I don't know if you ever heard of him. I've wrestled him before, and I learned a lot from him. He's been by my side through this whole injury. Kudos to Casey Navarro. He's a great guy, stand-up guy, also going through an injury himself. I think he's almost off the IR. I think he's almost ready to get back into the ring. But you know, just having that support, you know what I'm saying, and especially with the guys that are a part of the higher leagues like WWE and ROH and stuff like that. To have those connects, it's always good to have those connects.
and definitely in Pennsylvania, Philly, that's the home of ECW. So have you ever got a chance to go wrestle or go to the ECW arena?
I did once, but then snowfall happened and I wasn't be able to make it.
Oh,
So that's on my bucket list for the end of this year or next year. Get to wrestle in the 2300 arena. So definitely on my bucket list. Definitely will happen because when I tell you something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen, and that's for damn sure.
oh yeah, definitely. Hey, you got to keep that mindset. You keep that mindset and just say to yourself that, hey, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna happen. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So, how do you prepare both mentally and physically for high risk or hardcore style matches?
So I had one of my first hardcore matches recently. Before I got injured, it was against a guy named Phil Insane. It was a falls count anywhere match. If you want to, you can go check it out. It's a brutal match. John loves the match. He'll tell you about it all over and over again. Um, how do I get mentally prepared, man? Honestly, man, I just gear up and, go in the bathroom, throw water on my face. Sometimes I even get smelling salts. It helps, bro. Gets your blood flowing, get your muscles moving, and I just go, man. I just go at it. I have no really preparation of anything. I do a little workout before I wrestle to get my blood flowing. Other than that, I just go out there and do my thing, man. I have no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just keep the grind, bro, and just stay consistent.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I know you said you do hardcore style matches. Like, is it? And of course, I know every weapon that y'all use hurt. But is it a weapon that a wrestler might use that you just like? Oh, I hate when they use this, or is it a weapon that you prefer not to use in a hardcore match?
I'll do anything that's allowed.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do anything to put on a show. I've went through tables, I went through doors, I went through thumbtacks, I went through ladders, I got dropped on my head. I went through a lot of things, man, and I personally will do anything to put on a show. Whatever it takes. But there is one thing I won't use. I will not use blades in any type of match. Do not ask me to use a blade. Do not ask me to use any of that. I'll use thumbtacks. I'll use light tubes. I'll use any other things, but do not ask me to use a blade.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
it.
I like my face. You know what I'm saying? I have a beautiful face, and I like
Yeah,
to keep it with those scars on my face.
and that's kind of playing Russian roulette with a blade. You know what I'm saying? And I also know sometimes the wrestlers might sneak up under the table, or under the ring, or get themselves a little cut or whatever. But if first of all, I'm not wrestling. I don't want to get dropped on my head. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the respect, for the people that actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And me trying to get in the ring, nah, man. And I'm a little fella. I'm only 5'5", so
Oh
nah.
man, you short. You short hunk. Short hunk.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh, we lost him. There you are. Almost lost you there.
can you hear me?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. I don't even think I would be.
Technical difficulties. Oh, I can hear Detroit in the back, man. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm back on. Yeah, we had a
I
little
can,
tech.
I can hear you. I can hear the background. I can already tell you from the 313. I can just hear it in the background, bro.
Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty. Sorry about that. Um, so crowd connection is huge in wrestling. What does fan reaction mean to you, especially in smaller, intimate venues?
It means a lot to me. As a person, as a wrestler, I always, before any show, I go around and I introduce myself to every single fan, as much as many people as I can. I always tell them, "Hi, my name's RJ. I'm one of the wrestlers. Nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy the show." And that goes a long way. It goes a really long way. I've done it at every show that I've been working on, and I keep that as a tradition for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it can earn respect from a lot of people. It can earn you a lot of more fans because they see how open-hearted you are, and that's just something that I do. So it means a lot to me to have any fan interaction, any fans that are involved. It means the world to me.
Yeah, and a few independent shows I've been to in the past, I think that's cool too. How they go out to meet the fans, take pictures with the fans. They might let the fans hold their belt if the champion just won. And like you said, just that interaction with the crowd, like give the people what WWE or AEW don't give their fans unless you paying for a VIP package or behind the scene package or whatever like that. Like, and I think that's what's really been the cool thing about the independents, especially now with WWE ticket prices being so high. Everybody just want to go to a inexpensive wrestling show where they can have fun, and I think that's where right now WWE is always gonna make their money, but I think you're gonna see a nice little boost in the independents, especially them cities that get WWE shows, but people can't afford to go to them.
Yeah, and a wrestling show wouldn't be the same without fans.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the fans make the show.
Oh yeah.
And I truly live by that because let's make an example. Let's go to a show there's maybe 3 or 4 fans. Okay. And then let's go to a show where it's fully packed. You'll see the difference. You'll see that you'll be able to, reach out more, do more things in that show. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the ability to get a reaction,
Yeah.
and that's how I feel. So the fans always mean a lot to me because we wouldn't have a show if the fans weren't there.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So what is the independent scene like in Pennsylvania? Like how many what would you estimate how as far as like how many big promotions there are?
There's a couple, man. Um, there's about 4 or 5, say maybe 6 as of right now that I know of.
Okay.
Um, but I haven't been around. Like I haven't been jumping to promotion yet. I didn't get that ability because I have been cold-heartedly fixing myself and, maintaining myself at the battlefield, trying to find my own footsteps there. And I was just starting to until I got injured. So I can so getting injured in my opinion was a good thing, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a bad thing. I was able to give my body a little rest because I've been at it this for 3 years straight. I didn't have no breaks, no days off, no nothing. It was training 4 days a week, shows every 3 times a month, 4 times a month. Like it was nonstop like that for almost 3 years. And being able to, build myself in one promotion like Battlefield and then having that chance to, extend your options and being able to move on to other promotions, debut at other promotions, which I didn't get yet. Like I don't know if you ever heard of Three Legacy Wrestling with Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was literally 3 days before I was supposed to debut there.
Mm-hmm.
I broke my foot.
Oh, man.
And so I have that um I have him waiting to book me again, and it's just there's a lot of promotions that I would like to get my foot into the door, but time is ticking, clock is ticking, and I can't wait to get to so sort of say 4 or 5 promotions.
Sweet, sweet. You ever I don't know if you have yet, but would you like to wrestle outside of Pennsylvania?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I feel like that has to be a must. That has to be on a wrestler's bucket list. You can't just stay in one state and think you're gonna get seen. Heck no, man. You
Yeah.
have to you have to expand your choices. Go to different companies, reach out. Even if they don't I've had over 50 companies just block me, not answer me. Cold
Uh,
hold, just not answer. I've had those. You'll get a lot of those before you get 1 or 2 to be like, yeah, we would love you to have it come down. You know what
uh,
I'm saying? But
yeah.
it's a struggle, bro. And people, because you obviously have a rate. You obviously have, you're an independent wrestler, so you have to make a rate. And some of these promotions don't want to pay that rate because they don't think that you're worthy of that rate. Well, you have
Wow.
never seen me wrestle. How are you going to say what I'm worthy of? I know my worth. I know who's behind me at training. I know who's been training me for 3 years. Now, if I tell you that, you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, come on through. Door's open for you. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to just sit there and say, yeah, you can count on me. That's not my first words. My first words are introducing myself, telling them who I am, letting them know after the fact who trains me. Because I see a lot of people that I've met, they rely on just saying their trainer's name and then they expect their booking to be handed to them. I don't think that's in my opinion. I don't think that's the right way to go. But if that's the right way, if that's the way you have to do things for certain situations, go ahead. But I will always rely on being able to introduce myself first, being able to have them know me instead of just who's trained me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense there a little bit.
Oh no, I get you. Yeah, I get you. Definitely. Um, so looking at your career right now, what goals are you focused on for the rest of the year? I know, what I'm saying, you injured and you focused on recovering. Any other goals you might have, like any championships or anything like that?
Everybody has a championship on their bucket list. Everybody does. If you're a wrestler, you have to at least have something on your bucket list that regards championship. Absolutely. Now, last time I held a championship, it was about a year ago, and that was my first ever one.
Wow, wow. How
Never.
did that feel? Because I ask every wrestler that come on the show, because I know everybody's experience is different, but the one thing that they say that they say behind the scenes that the guy that gets the championships is the ones that's been putting in the work, and it's not just in the ring, it's behind the scenes as well. You know what I'm saying? Getting along with the other wrestlers, helping them with their craft, breaking down, putting together and breaking down the ring, stuff like that. So what was your experience like when you won your first championship, and how did it feel?
I was, I was, or maybe I still am. I don't know, but I am. I was a captain of my camp at Battlefield. Uh, a handful of us were putting in the work. We're stepping up as leaders. Um, and I got rewarded. I got rewarded because I was working hard, like you said. Being able to be there for the other workers, other wrestlers, be setting up, tearing down, being there on time, being there early, leaving until nothing is left to be done. That's definitely a big part of getting rewarded a championship. It just doesn't come in with the ring work or anything like that. It definitely relies on the lines of what happens backstage, because they don't want to put a title on somebody that's just not, they're not fully committed into making a difference or anything on those lines. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be like, I held the belt for maybe 4 months, and I've wrestled every match that I had was a title match. I told my coach, I said, every match I want to have a title match. I don't want no alleyways, no shortcuts. I want to be a fighting champion, and that's what I want to be lived. I want to be known by that. Every time I hold the belt, it's championship match here. It's always a fighting champion, and that's what I want to be known as, and that's what I will be known as.
That's what's up. And what was the name of your first championship?
So we have a futures division. It's something on the lines of like the NXT here at the Battlefield. We have the futures division, and then we have the main roster. I held the futures title for the futures division.
So you were basically like the face of the division.
I was at one point.
That's what's up. Hey, you know what? Hey, that's a good honor, right? A good reward right there. You think you'll be able to? You think you'll see yourself on the main roster?
I am on the main roster
Okay,
now. I
cool.
have been on the main roster. I've been fighting for other championships. But as of right now, like we talked about earlier, I think right now I'm gonna focus on getting better, and then I take those next steps and be like, okay, this comeback's about to be real. This comeback's about to be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for anyone chasing their dream in wrestling or any grind heavy path, what advice would RJ Carnage give them?
I think I told you guys in the beginning of the podcast here is going through something that's hard. You always stay on track, because you will regret it. Stay focused, stay consistent. If you really want something, you will really work for it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because there's kids out here that will do anything to go see Chuck E. Cheese. It's an example, bro. Because
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if you're a kid and you really want something, you're gonna show that you really want it, and it's the same
yeah.
for an adult. If you really want something, you're gonna show you really want it, and that's what I'll tell everybody. Stay consistent. Stay consistent, stay happy, because I know if you're not, you wouldn't be doing this if you weren't happy. So just stay on your shit, be on top of everything, be on time, stay in the gym, eat healthy, you know, do all those things, and you will become something in this business.
Absolutely. Hey, and that not just in this business, but in life. You know what I'm saying? That's
That too.
those are words right there. That everything you just dropped, that could be somebody that could be told to somebody that's trying to be a rapper or a singer or just any content creator. You know what I'm saying?
Anything. Just stay consistent. If it's art you want to do, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. Stay consistent. Keep drawing. Keep painting. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I look at it as.
And that's one thing that I tell anybody that want to start a podcast or whatever. I my advice would be just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Just
like
do it.
all the expensive equipment that you think you need, you really don't need. You know what I'm saying? It's cool down the line if you want to, do, you know, have your podcast sound better, if you want to have a different look. But for the most part, just get it started, man. And once you get it started and get the ball rolling, that's when those creative juices will start flowing.
Absolutely.
So before we get up out of here, we gonna talk about AJ Styles. He retired. He retired against Gunther in January. He got a little tribute on Raw, and we saw Undertaker announce that he's also going into the Hall of Fame. I know he said you said he's one of your top three wrestlers of all time. Just real quick, just get your thoughts on AJ Styles.
AJ Styles has been a role model for me growing up. Um, I wish he was able to, be here right now because I would probably freeze and not say anything. But I would be a little kid. But man, dude, watching his 20, almost 25 years, no, 25 years of basically my whole life, I've watched him. I'm about to be turned 25 myself, and being able to witness that and watch him grow into the guy he is now, and it just shows that anything can happen if you keep your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Because AJ was always he was always a TNA wrestler to me.
Oh yeah,
He
always.
was always a TNA wrestler to me.
Yeah,
He was the TNA originals. Suicide, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, all those guys that were a part of the TNA at that time, and he was the main guy.
yeah,
And from there on out, I feel like he built his own empire. You know what I'm saying? Like just like a Cena situation. I feel like Cena's a little bit more higher in the charts than AJ because Cena's did everything in the book. He's won every title, every title. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
AJ has done the same in similar situations, but he's done his in his own way. And AJ's always been an inspiration to a lot of people, and I feel like he knows his time's up. But I feel like like we talked about earlier, he can go another 5 years. He
yeah,
can. He can, but he said it himself. He wants times with his wife. He wants time with his kids. And especially with the family involved, I can definitely see from his point of view on why he's hanging up the boots, or he's tying a knot into his career. So you know, kudos to AJ, bro. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for all the great matches, all the great rivals with Samoa Joe, and thank you for the OC because that was my favorite faction of his, the OC. I didn't like. I listen. A lot of people yell at me for this. He was in that other faction too, that big faction. What
the
was it?
Bullet Club.
I didn't like the Bullet Club.
Oh, you didn't? You know
No,
what? See, I really didn't watch New Japan. I would just like read the articles when they would talk about them, and I would see like little videos. So I wasn't really like, I was hip to them, but I really didn't see a lot of their work. But it was
same,
it was just the
same.
modern day NWO. It was the
Yeah,
modern day
and
NWO.
that's what I got out of it. And it's not like it was terrible. It's not like it was terrible. It was just
Yeah,
something that it got really bland and stale real quick. And I guess you can say AJ made the Bullet Club something because he did. He did.
yeah,
He did. But I liked the OC. The OC was it showed him. It showed him like how he was in NWA and TNA and Impact. It showed that heel AJ, and I loved that. And as a face, it's crazy that I say that, but I loved heel AJ. Heel AJ was phenomenal.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just want to say, and I've been saying this on podcasts I've been on. I've saying it here in the past. Um, he needs to be in the GOAT conversation. That's just
Absolutely.
flat out. Like
Absolutely.
I think that even if he never came to WWE, I would still put him in the GOAT conversation. But I think his run at WWE kind of put the icing on the cake. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
he won every championship in TNA. He won championships in Ring of Honor. He won championships in New Japan. Then came to WWE and became a Grand Slam champion in less than 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So his body of work, like there's nothing to discuss or there's nothing to debate. He should be in the GOAT conversation. And I think that guys like Omega should be in there for the GOAT conversation. I mean, his championship run and all the stuff that he's done, you know what I'm saying? He should be in that conversation too.
And I feel like Samoa Joe should be too.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely.
I feel like Samoa Joe, and a lot of people disagree with me on this. I really think he should be part of that conversation for many reasons. Samoa Joe has been around longer than half of these wrestlers that are wrestling right now,
Yeah,
and it's crazy to say he's never aged. I don't think Samoa Joe aged at all.
yeah,
He looks the same, just like Bobby Lashley. That man never aged, bro.
that's
Just
true.
like
That's true.
just like our truth. That man never aged, bro. Whatever y'all are taking, I need to know, bro. Slide it my way.
Yeah, definitely. And I just lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was about to say. Uh, yeah, Samoa Joe. Yeah, the only thing Samoa Joe championship that he doesn't have is the WWE championship. Like he's been TNA championship. He got the Ring of Honor championship, if I'm correct.
Yep,
I think he won the New Japan? Was he the world champion in New Japan, or did he win a title there?
he might have.
Oh,
I might have to go back and look because I was actually just watching a playlist about Samoa Joe the other day. I think I did see a match in New Japan there.
okay,
I'm pretty sure. You might be correct. You might be correct, but I
okay.
definitely don't want to give you a solid answer because I'm not for sure.
Yeah, and then just of course, he was the NXT champion. He was the
Yep.
WWE US champion. Only major championship he doesn't have is the World WWE Championship, and he should have won that, in my opinion, or at least been the Universal Champion. But yeah, he should definitely be in that talk. And I just hope that, and I just wish people would stop with the AJ Styles fantasy booking. I know it was kind of in the past that it was said that he was going to leave WWE and then possibly do some work after that. But I think he's done. I
He's
think he's done. I and
listen.
just from what I with Triple H when he had his when they were doing the Survivor Series no Royal Rumble post show, he was just basically saying that AJ Styles was he's tired. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying when a wrestler has that mentality, like it's time to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Yeah.
from what I heard, it was supposed to go like his retirement tour was supposed to be like the whole year round, but it just got to the point he was just ready to hang him up, and I think he's done. I'm glad that we get to that point with wrestlers where they're announcing their retirements and they are leaving. It's not one of them things where they retire and then they coming back for one more match. Like they
I
hanging it
mean,
up for good. Like I don't think
yeah.
Cena's coming back, and I don't think Styles is coming back either.
I feel like they will be there. They will be there backstage. Absolutely, they'll
Oh
be
yeah,
there. They'll be helping. I know that for sure. But at the end of the day, there's always a time, bro. There's
yeah,
always an end of a time, and I think it's time to really realize that both of these guys are not going to be in this wrestling scene anymore. Like, wrestling's going to be a whole different aspect, and it's going to be a lot of younger guys, and it's going to be like CM Punk stepping up again. Finn Balor, I love how they're giving this Finn Balor push again. They need
yeah.
to really stay consistent on this because if they don't, I'm gonna be pissed. because Finn
Yeah,
Balor deserves it, dude. He lost the Universal Champion due to an injury. He's never lost it. He didn't lose it. He had to drop the belt. He never got his rematch ever. He came back and instantly joined the Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to give Finn a regular solo championship run, and I feel like that is what they're doing right now. And I hope they stay consistent because if they don't, you're gonna lose me because that's they need to, bro. That's good for business. It's good for views. It's good for money. And just like AJ, they pursued this with AJ, and I didn't like we talked about. Like I didn't think it would come this quick. You know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah,
said literally a little bit ago. Like they were supposed to go out through the whole year. It
yeah,
was supposed to be like a Cena retirement tour with AJ, and I don't know, like you said, having that Royal Rumble post show, him saying like I'm tired, like you heard it in his voice, bro.
yeah,
You heard even I don't know if you watch that Stephanie McMahon, she does those interviews with certain wrestlers and talks about their lives and stuff like that. I
yeah,
watched a clip with her and AJ's just you can see it, dude. You can see he's tired. You can see when he talks about it. It's like it's time to put up the boots. It's time to tie them tight and just let it go.
yeah,
And like you said before, when the wrestler hits that type of mentality, it's just really time to hang it up, you know. And it prevents and risk of injury. It prevents risk of injuring somebody else because they don't have what they had 20 years ago, or 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And real quick, and now you probably know this. AJ Styles actually debuted in WCW.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's part of the cruiserweight tag team division. That's when like they was like a hour away from going out of business, and then
Yep.
they eventually finally got bought by WWE. But yeah, a couple of people like the cruiserweight tag team division. I think that's when I was just like done with WCW. Then that's when they had did that whole new blood thing and the millionaires club and all that, and it was just like it was just a mess at that time.
Yeah. We can listen. We can talk shit on we can talk shit on Vince McMahon, but that man saved wrestling. He saved
Oh yeah,
WWE. He saved it.
yeah,
And the way wrestling is right now, we all knew sometime down the line Triple H was going to be where he is now. We all knew it. And if nobody thought about it, somebody knew that he was going to get this opportunity. And he's doing amazing. I feel like he's doing great so far,
yeah,
but like you said, WCW was the time that everything was all over the place. Everything was not in one setting. Everything was just it was crazy. I remember watching videos and clips and old VCR tapes with my pop and my dad
yeah,
about old WCW stuff. I seen it. That you could see the big difference of that time, how everything changed so quickly.
yeah. And it was just and it started. I think you could really see the demise when they started splitting up the NWO, when you had the Wolf Pack and then you had Black and White, and then they started doing dumb stuff like putting Lex Luger in the Wolf Pack. And then what really got me, and I think I was done with WCW then, when they put Sting in the Wolf Pack. Like that made no sense at all. It's like this was the dude, this was basically like the Batman of WCW, and he's fighting the Joker, trying to, you know what I'm saying, save WCW/Gotham. And then he turned around and joined a subdivision of the group that he was trying to destroy. Like, it didn't make no sense to me. Then he had the red paint. And then when they did the finger poke of doom or whatever that was, he felt betrayed. Like, dude, like, what did you think? And I don't know. I think that was the end of it right there when Sting joined the Wolfpack.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. The first time I saw that was on VCR.
Yeah, and still to this day it's just like, man, they should have never did that. And that finger poke of doom, when they did that, that definitely that they definitely took a dip after that. And then when David Arquette won the world championship, that's when it was really like, man. But you know what? He said I forgot what show I was watching. I think it was that documentary, Who Killed WCW. And he was I guess after he had won the championship, he had went to Booker T. He was talking to him, and he asked Booker T how many times you won the world championship, and Booker T told him zero. So that's when he was like, he felt bad about it. And then I think when they vacated the title, that's when Vince Russo was like pushing Booker T, and that's when he got that push to win the world title or whatever.
The King with King Booker as well. I remember those times.
Yeah, yeah. But Booker T and WCW, like he was the man. Like he was in part of one of the best tag teams, Harlem Heat. And
Harlem
then
Heat
once
was
they split,
top 10,
oh
definitely.
yeah, definitely. And when they split and he became a singles wrestler and he held the TV title and the US title, he put the work in. He was definitely one of the workhorses of WCW.
Absolutely.
So RJ, I appreciate you coming on, man. It
I
was good
appreciate
talking.
you, brother.
No problem, no problem. Before we get out of here, you want to give any shout outs or let the people know where they can find you?
Man, everything is my name. Social media, RJ Carnage on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Um, you can also check me out on Battlefield Pro Wrestling YouTube page. There's some old videos of matches you can watch of mine, or you can just enjoy the show of itself and watch other wrestlers. We have a lot of good talent in the Battlefield, but yeah, that's really where you can find me. RJ Carnage on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So that's really it, my man. And again, I just wanted to say something here for you, Mike. I appreciate you having me on the show. It
Oh,
really
no
means a
problem.
lot to me. And I know we're in definitely two different time zones, two different area codes, man, two different states. But man, I appreciate you having me. Appreciate you taking the time to
Oh,
really
no
get
problem.
get to meet me. And I really would like to get back on the show once maybe I can get back on my feet and I get back in the ring. We can do like a little checkup. It would be awesome to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I know you buddies with the Brothers of Discussion podcast. You know, shout out to those brothers.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be on their podcast on in a couple of weeks. But
Word.
before I get out of here, just want to thank everybody that's been watching. Everybody that left a like, if you shared it, if you subscribed, watching on YouTube or whatever. But just check Wrestling from the 313 out on Facebook, Twitch, uh, Twitter/X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube channel still blowing up. We're on the road to 85K. Think we're 8350 right now. We got over 4.7 million views. So the channel is
Okay.
still growing. Thank you. Channel is still
Okay.
growing. I'm trying to get that press button. I'm trying to
Oh,
get
you
one of
you're
those.
close. You're close, bro.
Hey, I'm trying to get there, man. But
Everybody from the 303, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
hey, mad love to everybody in Pennsylvania, Philly, Pennsylvania, the whole state. Um, this is Mike D, Wrestling from the 313. We got 2 episodes next week. We got one on Tuesday and we got one on Saturday. The Saturday episode will be special. I got Ben Mears. He's from the UK. So, I had to, we're going to chop it up with him. And let me see if I don't even have my book. But yeah, next week, 2 episodes of Wrestling from the 313. Make sure you're here. So once again, for my guest, RJ Carnage, it's your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. We out. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.